Yes, y'all. What is good, everybody? Welcome. My name is C.
My name is Notion.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Bad Habits podcast.
Yes, sir.
I hope everyone is doing well and maintaining in these, I was going to say unprecedented times. It is absolutely precedented. It's some fucked up times is what it is. How you doing, my man?
Doing pretty good as we can do. Just trying to enjoy the sunshine and stay as creative as I have been the previous weeks.
I like that.
But yeah, very, very somber, very heavy-hearted, and just doing what we can do, mate.
That's it. It's a bit of a different time. It's been a fucked up year. Arguably the longest year of all time. It's June and it's been pretty shitty. So for y'all, if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, I guess it's almost impossible at this point. But the last obviously few months have been all about pandemic and COVID and stuff, and we were sort of really focusing on that type of shit and trying to stay creative. Now that's gone and being taken to a whole other level with everything that has happened in the States, but actually across the world as far as the protests, which is great. I don't know if great is the word, a positive side effect of everything that's been going on. So it kind of doesn't feel right today if we don't sort of get right into that, and we're still going to talk about music and stuff. At the end of the day, we are here to talk about hip-hop music and everything that's happening in the culture. At the same token, we would be remiss if we did not go into detail and in depth and discuss what's happening to our black brothers and sisters across the world who are being oppressed in this continent. They are the ones whose culture we are guests in, as we spoke about before. So we have to represent for that, and do that. So this t-shirt, by the way, is from a music video that we did. I'm wearing it for those listening on audio. I got a Black Lives Matter t-shirt that we made for I just realized before it's V-neck. That's why I wrote on it, because I hate V-necks. So vexed.
You look great, mate.
I fucking hate them. But I thought I'd bring this tee back, and at the end of if y'all are watching on the live right now, shouts to y'all. But also if anybody is checking the video, whether it's before or afterwards, stay to the end, because I'm going to play a video of a song that Notion and I did a few years back. I think it was 2016, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah, where this video is from, and this shirt is from, and it was something that is unfortunately just as relevant today as it was 4 years ago when some shit went down. Funnily enough, 4 years ago, another horrendous year in humanity, for us personally, but also humanity. And I think these leap years, and someone called them election years in the States. I thought that was funny, but just these leap years just fucking eat all the balls, man. It's horrendous.
That's facts right there, facts, bro.
All right, so let's just get into it. I'm gonna refer to my notes here just to make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, let me just turn off my goddamn notifications. I don't want no dings during this thing. All right. So essentially, if you guys haven't been paying attention to any sort of media, social media has been dominated by this talk over the last week. I think everything really kicked off a week ago. So in the last 2 or 3 weeks, there's a bunch of terrible things happened. So police brutality across the world has been a thing forever. It is disproportionately executed upon minorities. Of course, the cops have been targeting minorities, and that in the States is predominantly African Americans, but across in Australia it's the natives who've been there for 40 or 50,000 years. I think they're the oldest culture on the planet, actually. It happens everywhere. There's always a group of people in every country that kind of gets the brunt of the authoritative oppression. So in the States right now, it has disproportionately been African Americans. I don't know the timeline, so forgive me here. So as of recording this, today is the 1st of June. Yes, it is. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, 2 horrendous deaths happened. There was Breonna Taylor, where the cops went into her home and shot and killed her, and she did nothing. She was a nurse, which is even worse, as she's putting her life on the line every day to save people for this shit. And then the cops just come through and kill her. And it was the wrong house. And then they shot her partner. I think he was trying to help as well, to help her, because they just came in. They were plainclothes cops and they didn't identify themselves. It's fucking horrible. The second one was Ahmaud Arbery in I don't know if it was Atlanta, but it was in Georgia. And essentially he was just running, and 2 dudes. One of them was an ex-cop and his son, and then their mate. This dude was just running. He was in electrician school. So he went into an empty house that was being construction to check shit out. I'm not sure if it was the same day. And basically on a run, they shot him, just killed him for no reason. Like citizen's arrest. Yeah, it was fucking horrendous. Yeah. And then the last one that really sets things off, a week ago today, was George Floyd in Minneapolis, where the piece of shit pig of a fucking racist cop put his knee on his neck for 9 minutes, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
After he
said he couldn't breathe
multiple times.
Yeah. Multiple times, yeah.
And this cop has pictures of him wearing a "Make Whites Great Again" hat, not "Make America, Make Whites Great Again" hat, which really worse. Like if you need any more proof that everything that's happening with Trump and the Republicans right now are anything but racist, then you're off your head. It's exactly what is happening. This dude has I was watching something, Tiff and I watched something today, and they were talking about this dude's rap sheet, and it was wild. He'd had I think 12 complaints officially through his through the police department there. He had been responsible for multiple deaths. This guy was a fucking world-class piece of shit. And all the cops around him were just as pussy. No one fucking said shit. And unfortunately, I don't think, I feel like, and this is a fuck part, if there was a white person there that could have used their privilege to just come up, because I bet you $1 million, if we had to come up and push the fucking cop, they wouldn't have shot us. They might have shot us, or they might have roughed us up, but they wouldn't have killed us. And that's the difference. Someone could have stopped that, but I guess where they did it was probably a neighborhood where folks weren't around, and it was over some bullshit forgery that they still never proved. And there was some whack-ass coroner's report that said that he didn't die of asphyxiation. He had a pre-existing condition, which of course was bullshit. Then they got independent people who said it's bullshit. And the funny part of that, I saw and that essentially Mr. Floyd's death had led to protests across the world, literally, and then some of those have become riots, and we'll discuss how that happened in a second, because I've been seeing some shit over the last few days.
Yeah, same.
I'm not sure if you saw
interesting video footage of
okay, so you saw some of this too. Okay, cool, you're on the page.
This morning, yeah.
Okay, I saw, man, it's fucking wild. So, I saw people tweeting when a cop broke his leg somewhere, and someone tweeted, like, "Oh, you sure it wasn't a pre-existing condition?" Like, I thought that was pretty funny, like shoving it right back up their asses. It's fucking cunts. So,
insane, mate.
Right. So essentially, this is basically the same shit that happened with Sandra Bland, with Mike Brown. I think Mike Brown was 2014, if I'm not mistaken. With Trayvon Martin, with Eric Garner in New York, with all the different people whose names we shouldn't even know because they're continually getting murdered by police, and it's murder. And none of these fucking cops ever get prosecuted properly. If they do, it's some sort of
some light slap on the wrist shit.
Just to shut people up. Exactly.
Absolute
and they own, did you see the video where they were in Minneapolis? Because basically Minneapolis is burning, and now a lot of other places are too. So they started there.
It's a riot zone. They love it over there. It's like it's animalistic shit going on.
Right. I mean, but then you got to remember, this is what we have to point out here. It's not the protesters that are doing this, or at least those who didn't start it. There were other people involved in that. But the point was, then they went to his house. People found his address, the cop, and you see the cops out front?
Lining the garden, and there's more cops guarding that guy's house than actually taking care of the protesters and shit in the city.
And there were military armed cops with gas masks and assault rifles and shit.
Riot shields, all the gas masks.
Yeah, very scary. Like visually, it's really scary. It's fucking 1984 shit.
They were over armed. Those cops, they shouldn't have that much shit on.
Exceptionally so.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw another picture. They go, "These are the cops coming to fuck everybody." And here's a picture of the first responders, like the nurses, and they're covered. They got a garbage bag for protection.
Yeah.
And these secondhand things, and these motherfuckers have all this money. So the police are out of control. So basically, they protected this guy. They put him up for third-degree murder right now. Third degree means it's not premeditated, but then they showed that they used to work together at a club where Mr. Floyd was the bouncer, and the other dude was. He did some other security shit where they absolutely would have been in contact. So there's some sort of a vendetta that'll absolutely come out that'll come out soon enough. That's why he was leaning on his neck like that, and that's why the other dudes probably didn't stop him. Maybe I felt the other cops were scared of him because this dude did look pretty psycho. You could tell.
It's all in the eyes, bro.
All in the eyes, and that's the one thing I always say to Tiff is how can anybody look, particularly any of these cops? You can look at anyone's eyes and you can be like, "Oh, this person's fucked," or
there's something wrong, or something shifty,
or they mean ill. But you can tell if they're just a good person who's scared, and because you're scaring them because you're fucking saying all this crazy shit to them. So basically, that's been going on for the last week. The Black Lives Matter movement has been always been in full effect for many years now, but it's kicked back in. It's very reminiscent of the last things from the last few years. that have been happening. Another one as well, sorry, I neglected to mention here, a young girl, I think she was 29 in Toronto. Her name was Regis Korchinski-Paquette. She was apparently thrown off the 24th floor of her building in High Park in Toronto by a cop. Her mother called the police about her mental health. They didn't really specify what happened. And then she went into another, like a neighbor's apartment or something, and then the cops, all of a sudden, they wouldn't let the family, the mother and her cousin, who also I think lived there or was there with her, and they wouldn't let him in the room. And all of a sudden, it went quiet, and they were just like, yeah. So they're saying that they pushed her off because she's not that type of to jump off a building, right? Like, so that set off some protests in Toronto, which were peaceful, actually. I don't think any dramas happened there. But in Montreal last night, wild shit went down. And this is kind of coming back to what happened everywhere else. So what has been happening, I've seen on my Twitter at C4, CWFOR, I retweeted, someone had a thread of all the white anarchists or white supremacists or Antifa or undercover cops, somebody, but they're all white people who are looting, who are breaking the stores. There was one dude, I don't know if you saw this one, Brad, that had no government names. A dude had all these motherfuckers are in all black.
Dude was wearing a
ski mask and an umbrella. You saw the one, and it was the AutoZone. He was just walking up, holding this stuff, clearly aiming to do that, and just smashing windows.
He's using an umbrella so he can dead the surveillance from above, so no one can get any sort of visual from above. So that just deads all that. And he's wearing a fucking gas mask with the filters on the side.
That's what it was. Okay.
And he's got bulletproof vest under his t-shirt. He's a cop plant. He's there to make all the havoc. So when the rioters get there, they see all this damage, and then there's sheep mentality. Oh, everything's been broken. We can fuck shit up.
Exactly.
It's like literally plant bullshit fuckery.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
So okay.
Scary. And that guy who actually who's a cop, he's literally a psycho. And
the killer.
That's the kind of environment that fucking thrives.
Facts.
Scariest shit ever.
So you're saying that the guy with the umbrella was a cop? Did you hear someone say that, or is that what you are inferring based on what you saw?
The video that I saw had people from his neighborhood saying, "Oh yeah, that's the motherfucker. Same walk, same bop, same height, same everything. That's the guy. He's a psycho, and he's a nutcase." And I saw
another crazy cop. Okay.
Yeah, another crazy cop that the people are like, yeah, I unfortunately went to school with this guy. I can tell him, same height, same waddle, same walk, whatever they said. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that. This is great.
So he had a gas mask on with either purple or yellow respirators on. Pretty sure it was purple, and he had a black umbrella. And that was a video that I saw, and they had Facebook screen caps of all the people saying, yeah, that's the same motherfucker. So
no shit.
Scary, dude. So it's like,
okay.
The video also was like, people would come up to him and say, hey, what are you fucking doing, bro? Like, this is not the way.
Yeah, I saw that. And he was like, get the fuck away from me. He was like cussing him out. Yeah,
there's a few videos or something like that. There's another white guy with white hair. Eventually, when the other guys, protesters, take off his ski mask, is it white dude with white grey, hair, and then they drag his ass behind the fucking police lines and give him to the cops and say, this is the motherfucker. And they all pass him off. And they have to there's 8 people telling the 4 cops, this is the bad guy, don't take this guy, this is the bad guy, blah, blah, blah. Because the guy was chipping away at a water main in the street to try to fucking
get that going.
Up. Yeah, just disruptive
anarchist behavior.
Yeah.
Did you see there was another video? These dudes say that was out the front of. They go, I'm not going to say what building it is. Y'all know. I can't remember what city it was even, but it was essentially just a pile of bricks, and they were like, guys, we're in the middle of whatever it was. Do you think a fucking pile of bricks just magically ends up here? Basically, they were planted there for people to start breaking shit because they guess this was all planned. They want the cops, want people to riot so then they can continue.
Bring in the military force to control everybody so they can, whoa, everything got out of control.
Yeah,
bring in the big boys to fucking, they want that martial law shit to kickstart.
Yes.
That's the thing, that's the angle maybe.
I think that's 100% right. And then to add to what you said about this dude being a cop, that's a very fucking good point. And I think you're 100%.
The worst.
I think you're right. Sorry, Bassam is just commenting. Shouts to Bassam, you are the man. He said, that's beta shit. Show your face if you're a badass. Fucking true, bro. show your face. If you're a fucking mad guy,
Yeah,
but
if you're part of the revolution, trying to hold everyone down, then you shouldn't be hiding.
yeah, and they're not. They're all pussies. They're all pussies.
Other than wearing a responsible mask, you shouldn't be like fully ski masked up. You should at least have.
Well, the other problem is that you kind of need to. This is what I saw in the guides to how to go and protest. They go, make sure you've got no identifiable tattoos or piercings or even hair. Say like I would have if I went out, I'd have to cover everything. I'd probably wear a ski mask if I went out as well and a hoodie.
Interesting.
But just in case, because they like there was one in Montreal last night and shit got wild, bro, for the exact same reason. So basically, what you're saying about that dude being a cop, there are kids, and there were interviews on the news as well with these fuckwits, and they're basically suburban white kids who are like the anarchists, who are just sort of like looking at this as an opportunity. I mean, they're not threatening because they're little pussies, but
just to go nuts.
Just to go nuts.
White kids.
And they're like, we can hide behind the oppressed people because they're just worried about protesting, and we can go and like break stores. So the store where I got this, can I see that behind me here? My Apollo Twin. They broke into that store and stole all the guitars. I saw the video. Steve's music. Yeah. They broke into Steve's and stole all that shit. They were breaking stuff downtown. So there's basically the cops, as you said, either undercover or off duty, just doing what they want to do because they're scumbags. They're
undercover, plainclothes undercover, yeah.
But they might not be on the clock, so it depends depends.
Oh, I see. That's
you know what I'm saying? Because it could be like they're all if this other dude who killed Mr. Floyd, if they are letting that dude be on the force with photos online of him wearing that hat, then isn't it potential that like either there's other people like off duty that are all hanging out that all are essentially a group of like white nationalists, if that's a nice way of saying it. And they're planning these things. So then there's the anarchists. So they're just people who come up. Who apparently this happens all the time. They just turn up and just fuck shit up during all sorts of
during peaceful rallies to
correct.
Cause a disturbance.
And Rochelle here, shouts to Rochelle, always my fave commenter. Rochelle says, Cheeto, lols, just brought the National Guard and Army into the mix. Anyone out past 7 p.m. curfew will be met with force. Fucking guy. So that's another thing. He said, I'm sort of jumping, exactly, right? I'm jumping all over here, but he said, I wrote the exact quote. Where is it? When the looting starts, the shooting starts.
The shooting starts. Yo, dude, on Twitter. Fuck out of here.
Did you see so basically that refers back to something that happened in the 60s, and it's what they call a white supremacist dog whistle. So it's
even that terminology, looting and shooting, yeehaw, grandpa. That's
exactly.
What that sounds
it's
like
just straight up and down.
Just the language is old as fuck. To add on to that, speaking of Agent Orange, motherfucker, White House.
White House with the lights off.
The lights off.
And he was hidden in a bunker.
In the bunker for the first time in history. Not like no drills. This is the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
He hid like a bitch.
Like a little bitch.
After inciting all the fuckery, after all the speculation and the fuck shit with COVID. What a bitch, bro. Like, everyone needs to just, like, overrun the White House. Why can't we do that?
Because I think the Secret Service are probably too well armed. I mean, I was there. We went last summer because we were in Virginia, and it's right over there. So we went past DC for a couple of nights, and we went up to it. It's you can get kind of close, but then with this type of shit happen, they got like mad reinforcements. Like at the end of the day, there's more of us than there are of them, so they probably could. But there might be a lot of people will probably die doing that.
Yeah.
It's like that's some like front line of a war shit.
That's what we don't want. We don't want people.
Like, no one else. There's enough death, right? Grim is saying, "What up, Grim? Always here. Appreciate you, man. There is no way I could hide myself during a riot. It's definitely a mad time right now. Big facts.
Bro.
It's fucking wild." Antithesis, Agent Orange, LMFAO. Which is very true. So that was one thing I was going to bring up about him hiding in the bunker like a pussy. But those dog whistles are like people stand up for Trump. Like it's just something you can't deny it at this point. I get people are always trying to explain. Yeah, but he's only joking. But yeah, you mean nah, fam.
Not
like
joking, bro.
This is not like you can't even like manipulate this into a joke. Rochelle says hopefully Anonymous is going to come with the receipts and able to get him out. I saw Anonymous saying some shit. Because I saw that there's a new we watched the Epstein doco, and there was a new court file that Anonymous leaked that actually has like Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein versus the defendant. So they were being sued for Trump tied down I can't remember what age of the girl. I got a feeling in my head I'm thinking 14, but it's something like that, like, and raped her multiple times in multiple occasions. This young girl. So if he comes through. I hope that you're right. If Anonymous does come through and get him out, fuck, that would be something that would be, at this point, I don't even know if it's going to work. Like, how do you convince these right-wing Trump voters that now, like, what's it going to take for people to understand that this guy is human garbage and what he's doing is not positive for the country? Like, there's
like nothing he's done has been good.
Right, and it's not like the problem is like for the states. Like, really makes all of this shit makes me feel grateful that we are in Canada. At the same token, we are, Canada is complicit in this shit. Canada has treated its native population just like Australia did, just like the States did, just all these colonial countries. They're all fucked. The racism here clearly is significantly not as bad as the States, but it absolutely exists. I've heard horrible stories. My barber Dave is a Haitian.
Shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Dave. You know Dave, yeah. Dave's the fucking man. And Dave was posting his friend. They were just there. Everything was peaceful. And this is what happened last night. It finished at 7. Everything was peaceful. No dramas. Cops were chill. People were chill. Then as it started to get dark, the people we were talking about before, these looters, the anarchists, the plants, whoever they are, whether someone said they're Antifa, like the anti-fascists as well. So it could be a bit of that.
Everyone just needs a hug, mate. They need to fucking relax.
Right?
So much.
So then they started fucking up, and he said that his friend, a female, got murked by, I believe it was the cops, and they didn't give a fuck. And when the EMT, the ambulance folks came, they didn't give a fuck. She was a black girl. They didn't care. So I saw all his stuff, and Dave was like, man, I couldn't even... Here's a list of all my friends I know who have been targeted by the cops. Dave posted like 5 stories with long captions about stories that he'd had with his neighbors, seen his neighbors beat up by the cops. I'm sure I think he's told me some stories before as well. So, Montreal's bad, Toronto's bad, Canada's fucked up, man. It's just the same thing. It's just they've got 10 times the people, therefore 10 times the problems, and then add guns en masse to the mix, right? And then
that's a good point. Guns en masse. That's the huge.
It's really what it is.
Yeah.
And the obscene patriotism that we don't have here, and Australia doesn't have. It's the only place in the world you go, and everywhere you fucking go, everyone's got a flag up. Like, fam, we know where we're at.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's still still around in Canada. Like, you go to certain parks in town. That's cool though, but it's like a respectable, like, yeah, man, it's out here. But
it's a different
like America.
vibe.
Like, it's like every fucking house, every letterbox, every you've seen it more than I have, but I know what you're talking about when America puts the America on. It's, fucked.
Me and Scotty had a game. Scott was is a good friend of both of ours, and he
this is good.
Yeah, we used to travel to the States when he used to co-host our other beer podcast with us, and with me specifically. And so we go on the trips to the States. There was one time we went to Buffalo, and we went to New York to go to a brewery. There was one town I remember, it was called Jerry, I think with a G. And every time we see an American flag, you had to salute where it is and say America. So I remember one side of the street, it was on every single lamp pole, and then in the ground between them, and then on the houses, you'd be like, America, 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 America.
My goodness.
It's a fun game. Try next time you're in the States. Play the America game. It's never gets old. We play it every time. I'm like, every time we go. Never fails to make me laugh. So
Love it.
So that's basically what's been happening recently. I've been appreciating the individuals and the businesses who have been speaking out. I feel like it's at a point now where, like, if you're not speaking out, what the fuck are you doing? Like, at the end of the day, this is a human problem. This isn't about business. This isn't about anything else. We are heavy in the beer world. I think there's a thing this week. They're doing, like, people are stopping posting. So I think we're going to...
tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow onwards, or...
I think it was just tomorrow. I saw a thing from Warner Music, and a lot of people have screen capped that. And
that's the music business one.
Oh, you talking about just beer? Okay.
No. I'm talking. Well, no. I'm talking about one that's overall for like just people shouldn't be posting unless it's sort of about that. And I forgot what it's called. It's basically like what's the fucking word? Like lifting melanated voices or something. And giving that a platform versus talking about your shit. So last night we do 3 posts in a row on Instagram all the time for BAOS, for the beer stuff. So we did that. We encourage breweries to be posting. And look, I don't think we specifically have weren't responsible for it, but I think that a lot of the breweries are like, we're sharing every brewery who's posting about it, which I really appreciate with them doing that, because a lot of breweries, it's a very white world. They don't really understand this stuff. So then you got to be gentle with them and not yell at them for not doing it. You got to be like, look, what's this is why it's important. Rochelle is saying there's 2 hashtags. Tiff is saying amplify. That's the word. Amplify melanated voices. and she said that's not to post for a week. I think it was June 1st to 7th. So that's from today onwards. And then the music industry one is just tomorrow. That's the Warner one that you're talking about.
Right.
So I've seen different people say mixed messages about the music industry one because it seems forced. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, really. Do you have any thoughts on not posting for one day? I don't know, because the music industry, the problem, I think, before I get your answer, the music industry are speaking on behalf of the black folks who make the music that they're selling. So the music industry decided to do it, not the artists. At the end of the day, this should be more, they should involve the artists. That's what people were saying. So, do you have any thoughts on that one day thing?
I mean, it doesn't. It's kind of. It's like it
can go either way, right?
Yeah, it could go. Honestly, yeah, you're right. It does feel a little forced, but like one day's not going to change shit. So like we just need to just keep going forward with all the good stuff.
That's a good point.
One day's not going to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It seems to be one of those corporate, like, I don't know, let's just do something. I mean, they're going to do something also.
They kind of...
They've got to at least... They can't say nothing because everyone's going to be like, oh... But, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you said, it could go either way, but I don't think it's going to be a huge...
it's not going to make a dent.
Impact, yeah. No, we need to just keep on going.
Do more.
Yeah.
So Tiff said it's called The Show Must Be Paused. That's the name of that initiative. So, look, I'm going to be real. I'm not going to post on BOS I'm happy to take the week off. Gives me some time to breathe, but I'm also going to post on Wednesday though. We happen to do a podcast on Friday and the BOS one comes out on Wednesday with a brewery in LA owned by two friends of ours. They're called Crowns and Hops. They're in the middle of opening their brewery. They are both African American. The CEO is a woman, and they had some fantastic things to say. So I think that the only time we're going to post is to amplify those voices. So I'm not going to post anything else during the week except that. And tomorrow, right now, this is the live here, and then tomorrow I'm going to make the little thing that I make now and to promote the podcast, and I'm going to put that out on TMF, and then that'll be it for the week. It's only because it's talking about the situation. If we were talking about other things completely, like already this is half the, going to be more than half the podcast, so I feel okay about that. But otherwise, I think it's good too, because it's like, dude, I couldn't even imagine, like, normally I'd be like, after this, we'd handle this business and I go and do my BOS posts, but I'd be like, I don't really want to post about your fucking beer. Like,
yeah,
it just doesn't feel right.
Serious right now.
Yeah, there's other things that are more important. If our communities, if people, like, you know that quote, I think Merriweather posts it, it's the one where, like, they came for the socialists, but I wasn't a socialist, so I did nothing. They came for the Jews, but I wasn't a Jew, so I did nothing. Then they came, there's like 4 more of those, and then they came for me. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if we don't stand up for everyone, basically, if everyone can't just live their lives, then what's the fucking point? Why are we all here? Yep. This is ridiculous. At the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. Grim is saying knives / chiefin are a little more popular here, but gun here. You are friends with Grim, right? Because I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Where's he at? Melbourne?
Yeah, he's in Scarborough.
Oh, in Scarborough. Okay, my bad. Yeah. You said knives / chiefin. What's chiefin?
That's Sean.
Okay, what's chiefin?
Sean St. Louis.
Oh no shit! I didn't know that.
Smoking.
Oh fuck, bro.
Oh, he goes by a whole bunch of different funny handles, mate.
Okay. Knives / chiefin are a little bit more popular here, but gun crimes are definitely on a rise. So many shootings.
Knives and weed.
Okay. So what am I, a fucking old guy here?
I think so.
So I just never heard chiefin before. So many, I guess I don't smoke. So many shootings have happened. Too many lives been taken at a young age. Big facts. You said stabbings. Sorry, with regard to. Show me stabbings have happened. Yes. So yeah.
Maybe chiefin means stabs, and I'm old and I didn't know because like I thought chiefin was smoking, innit?
Yes, Sean, can you confirm, mate? Probably thinking if chuffing. Matthew Jones, Fat Sack says, "What's good, fellas? Fat Sack, what's poppin', my G?"
Fat Sack's in the building.
Melbourne out here, mate. Look at that.
Give you a head.
Loving it.
I have to crack a beer for that. I got no beer. Fuck me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You better fucking sort that, bloke. I got tea. Man. That's how hard I am. I'm fucking drinking tea.
Oh, you're the hardest bloke in the room. I got water. It's not as good as tea, though.
Oh, I got water right next to that tea, mate. Oof, don't you worry. I'm fucking flavored going tea, in. So I'm looking at me.
Slow down.
I know, right? Shit, calm down. He said it. Hang on. Here we go. He said it again.
I'm actually watching the thing, so I can see the comments now, mate.
Oh, you can see him on things. So what does chefin mean?
Slowly. Chefin? It looks like Chiefin.
Yeah, but he just posted again and said
You wrote Chefin?
CHEFFIN. Oh, the live in the background is delayed, so you'll see it in a second. I've got it up on the screen here.
In a second. All right, Chefin. I guess like man's just.
I guess it means knife.
Like
You're like you're chefing up. You're cooking with the knife, and you're like, yeah, gurks are man's. I know. I like gurks. Gurks is my favorite Toronto word.
Gurks is the best. Gurks.
Oh man, just gurks, eh? So what else did I have to talk about here? So one thing that I did want to discuss as well was like at first I think things have changed a little bit, but essentially hip hop is a black culture, and I feel like at least at first the artists weren't really speaking up. I didn't see a lot of artists proactively talk about everything that's happening. Particularly the worst part is it's the ones that the benefit from black culture, but then all of a sudden when shit gets real they disappear, and that's the whack part. One dude I thought was dope and is living what he should do is Russ. Russ is Italian, and Russ he had a T-shirt like 2 or 3 years ago, and I forgot. It says like basically something equivalent of like silence is equivalent to racism or something like that. He said it's a UK term. Yeah, man's so Sean says UK term. Man's listens to way too much fucking UK hip hop.
Oh yeah, he's a grimy.
I love it.
Fella.
It's actually good because he keeps me up to date. So did you see what Russ did?
No, I did not.
Okay, so he had this T-shirt, the one that's like the silence equals. It was like a bunch of shit written. I can't remember. He got them. He did like a sale to get them printed, and 100% of the funds go to Black Lives Matter. And so far, last I checked earlier today, it was at like $200,000 he raised from selling this T-shirt. I think that's putting. I mean, I'm sure he'll probably put money up to match it as well. He seems like the type of dude who doesn't fuck around. I really like. He's an asshole, but I love what Russ. I like kind of how he moves and stuff. He yaps too much, but I really like that. When it comes down to it, like he can back up what he's saying.
Like his fundamentals are sound. He's doing the right thing. Yeah,
yes.
Other than the personality aside, everything else is fire.
Absolutely.
He has a good work ethic and fundamental.
Yes, he's got some skills right there as well. I saw people like Ice-T, which you retweeted, which was good. He's been speaking up. Chance has been speaking. Mike Dean did a good one. But I haven't seen a ton of artists talk about stuff. Have you seen a bunch of specifically hip-hop artists or artists that are black culture or black culture adjacent talk about it?
Did you watch the Killer Mike?
I did. I saw
speech in Atlanta.
I saw people hate that. I saw
hella emotional. Why?
Basically because he's saying that like there's a big objection to the rioting, the looting that people were saying. They were like, you don't need to burn stuff down. Everyone needs to chill the fuck out. I heard
that too.
And the reason why there's two, but that's basically what he was saying, right? He was like, chill out, just be calm, and everyone's mad. Everyone was calling him a sellout and stuff. I saw more people angry about that speech than happy about it. And I think it was because if people are trying to say, and actually, funnily enough, I just shared a Black Lives Matter thing on Facebook today, and I wasn't anticipating. And then there's a whole bunch of people arguing on there now, and basically they are mad that if you're the shit doesn't change unless you burn it the fuck down. Like people are trying to use the argument of like Martin Luther King, like the passive sort of like just protest, peaceful, blah blah. Yeah. Look how much has changed since Martin Luther King died in like I think it was 68 or 69. So Rochelle said, "Did you catch his shirt though?" I don't remember. What was his shirt? Basically people are vexed that they're saying to not, but by writing it, it overrides the movement. It stops the message going past. But basically, the flip side to that is, are you, shit doesn't change unless you burn shit down. You have to get their attention. Tiff said his shirt was dope as fuck. Now I need to see the damn shirt. Apparently, Nick Cannon has gone to where the riots are. Oh yeah, I saw Nuff Man. That's a good point. I saw J. Cole was out there. Tory Lanez was a G. Tory Lanez has been saying some real shit. Oh, Kill Your Masters. Yes. Kill Your Masters was the one.
Right.
Yeah. That was a fire T-shirt. I really fuck with that. I remember that now.
That's what Killer Mike was wearing. Yeah.
So I don't know what anyone you guys watching and listening, what you guys thought of Killer Mike's speech, positive or negative. Tiff said I'd buy it. I'd actually buy that shit too. I love that. He should sell it and then give the money to Black Lives Matter. But yeah, people are basically saying don't ban. And that's what there's one dude who's an older guy who follows BOS, and he was commenting. He means well. He's in Philly. And he was just like, he was posting Martin Luther King and being like, look, I'm all with it. I think the cops should get the fucking death penalty. But, there's no need to burn the shit and ruin the cities. And I do understand that. But at the same token, for the most part, unfortunately, the collateral damages are the small businesses and unfortunately black businesses that people are supposed to be standing up for. But at the same token, they started in Minneapolis because Target wouldn't sell the tear gassed protesters milk to wash their eyes out.
Yeah.
So then they're like, all right, well, fuck you, and they just burnt the shit down. And then there's a lot of the time you see the protesters who are black try to stop the whites who are the looters and making it worse. And they're like, yo, chill out. Like, we're not trying to do that. Yeah. So, like, I see two sides to the thing. I don't know how I feel. I kind of probably lean more on, like, whilst I don't want my city burning down and, like, everything broken, if that's the price to pay for everyone to be equal, it's
everybody's been like, Colin Kaepernick kneels nice and peacefully, everyone's chilling.
What happens?
It doesn't get the message across. I mean, it got mad attention, didn't get the message across, but that's a peaceful protest. I understand that whole, like, there's been so many peaceful protests and everyone's doing their thing, everyone's gathering in respectful sort of, in congregations or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, there's enough is enough, I guess. You got to,
Yeah. So
there's a snippet at the start of, I think it's KRS, is saying, like, you can only beat if he's like, if it's somebody that's really violent, you take a bat and you beat it, and then the problem's gone. Like, that's the kind of approach that some people are, like, adopting. That the Malcolm, I guess, right? More Malcolm than Martin.
Exactly. I mean, but like, I don't know, it kind of feels more of a Malcolm situation right here, and it's gone on for a minute still. Like, fuck, bro. Yeah,
what are you gonna do? Can't be silent and peaceful for forever.
And it's been cool to see. Like, I seen the real positive videos where there are all these people protesting, every skin color, everyone got their fist up. Like, it's very, very cool. There's been a lot of, like, moving moments. There was even ones I saw, like, on the positive side again, if now we flip it, the sheriff, the chief of police, or the sheriff of Flint, Michigan. Did you see that video?
Did not.
So white dude, and he was talking to the crowd. He was just wearing essentially like a sweater that said sheriff on the back. And he was talking to the crowd. He's like, guys, we love you. These guys here, they hug you. Like, they're like, this is us. Like, what do you need from us? You tell us. And they started chanting, walk with us, walk with us. And then they just like, fuck it. And the cops walk with the people. It was emotional.
Sick.
It was very, very cool. And
Sick.
I've seen a couple others like that too, that are like, were the cops just walking with the people. Because at the end of the day, the cops are people. And like, this is what I always took. I used to be quite a large conspiracy dude. I've pulled back on it a bit, but I still believe it's real, a lot of it. And it's kind of like, what do you want to tell your grandchildren you did during this time? Do you want to tell them that you wore fucking riot gear and you
were part of the problem?
Yeah, and you were beating down innocent people who were just tired of their lives being taken, like, indiscriminately by people with authority issues, and like, who just were just bullies and fucking dickheads who couldn't get a better job and they just wanted to pick on people and feel like a big man.
Because they're scared themselves.
They're pussies. They all are pussies. Because they wouldn't do this shit if they didn't have a gun and a badge.
Anything else that comes with it. It's definitely some fuck shit.
It's definitely some fuck shit. So, like, that's really what it comes down to. I think, like, if you people have to think about what legacy that is. What are you trying to teach your children? A lot of these folks who believe this stuff might be brainwashed from their parents and their families who have been racist.
Yeah, so it's all taught. You're not born that way, mate.
No, not at all. Everything's
people have to stop teaching it, and then those kind of, like, I mean, over time that shit should weed itself out, but it's got to be, like, nipped on the bud
quick. Yeah.
Quick as.
Yeah, it's kind of whack. I really hope. I feel like
with a chainsaw, not like clippers.
No. And like kill it dead. Like, cut it off and kill that shit.
Stamp on it. You got to double tap it once it's cut off.
Just make sure it's done, so.
Barbecue it.
Can we just, like, put them all, like, all right, if you want to be racist here, like, give them, like, Mississippi or something, and just be like, hey, racist, go live there, and then build a wall, and then y'all can just kill each other and have incest there, you fucks, and then everyone else can just be chill.
Well, that's the new war. It's not like it's like everyone versus the racists.
I like that. I like that hashtag. I mean? Yeah,
I love that a lot. And obviously, we know what side we're on, and most people know what side they're on. Yeah. And then we can just weed out the dickheads that way, because then that'll leave all the fun people, and we can just continue and then progress. And how you going?
That's it. It's the only way to do it. So that's basically the main stuff that's been happening.
Disturbing shit.
Did you have anything else to add? I'm just checking my notes here.
Just as far as giving back, like, I was just planning on doing some.
Oh yeah, tell me about that. We were talking about it before.
Yeah,
talk about it, man.
Just have some friends in the beer communities as well, and they were just doing some some fun stuff, and I'm just going to give free photography to make it look nice so they can sell those things, and 100% of the proceeds go to Black Lives Matter organizations.
That's dope.
I also thought of today with inspiration from my friend Chris Craiglier, who's also Connor Salmoral's homie. Chris Craiglier is a amazing mix engineer as well. He's been doing a number of posts, and I saw him today talking about how he's going to donate 10% of his mixes, or he's going to, if someone has a song that's Black Lives Matter themed, he's going to just mix it for free or mix it at a certain rate or whatever. And I was super inspired by that, and because he was just talking about how he hasn't used his privilege enough and he needs to learn more, and he was just being super like open and honest on the thing, which was fucking sick. And I was touched by that, and I was just like, okay, so what can I do? So the photo thing, I talked today and organized that, and I was thinking, what could I do musically? So if anybody knows of an artist that has a song that is even remotely like, that's to uplift or spread the message, or anything to do with this bullshit that's going on, I would just be honored to mix it for free, and just to get the song out there and help somebody out that doesn't maybe have the funds to get their tune out, to get their heart on the sleeve, just get it on wax and get it out there. So I'm just down to donate my services for whatever.
I love that. Tiff says, love that, Brad, putting your guffy out there.
Oh, there you go. Thanks, Tiffaz.
I think that's really dope. I think it also, one other suggestion, maybe it's, you prioritize people of color or black folks specifically, black artists that might...
that's essentially what would
be the one. Yep. Yeah, that's what I figured as much, if that was kind of what it is. I mean, like, we have songs that are about it too, but I do want the impact is definitely going to be felt by someone who's living that experience. So I think that's great, man. Good on you. I think that's really dope. So thanks, how can people get to you to send you a song?
You can just at Notion Baby. It's at the bottom of the screen there on any of the platforms. Instagram will be the quickest response from me, and or you can just do info@illnotestudios.com. You can send me an email with the song and everything like that, so we can go there. So either DM me on Instagram or email me on that one. So
I'll put that in the description as well of the video, so that you have everything that you need, and people can go straight to this. And it'll also be in the show notes for the audio podcast as well. I'll put it in both. Tiff says, "Oh, sorry, no stop."
No stop. That's who it is.
Low. And that's what it is. And Rochelle said Freddie Gibbs has a good shirt with proceeds being
Freddie
donated.
Gibbs is the man. He's got some shit.
Speaking of that, that's a good segue. New music. Did you hear the Freddie Gibbs and Alchemists project?
I didn't, and I'm very upset. I've been busy riding my bike in the sunshine when it is out, which has been every friggin' day recently, thankfully. But no, I haven't caught up.
Okay.
I've seen snippets, and it looks lovely.
It's very, very fire.
You know I love Alchemist. So
yes, you're a big fan. So I thought you'd really enjoy it. And Freddie is gangsta as fuck. He's great. He's got Rick Ross on there. He's got Benny and Conway on some giants. Like the
artwork is so amazingly old school. They must have used the shittest camera. It's so good. I love it.
And that's called Alfredo as well. So Alchemist.
Conway. Did you say Conway?
Conway, Benny. Yeah. Benny the Butcher. Sean says, I like the title, Heart on My Sleeve plug.
Oh, thanks, mate.
It's a nice one. But that album, man, it slaps. It's super hard. Alchemist beats are fire. Freddie is just like on point. He's one of the most consistent rappers in the game for sure. Really enjoyed that one. Another full length that dropped was Joel and Crooked I Hard, like HARD plus. Dope. Great shit, exactly what you'd expect. It's sort of not like mind-blowing like the singles. Like everything is just sick. All right, that's what I thought it would be.
Right, it's like, just hard boom bap shit. Nothing wowing you. How was the production?
Yeah, sick. I mean, look, to be fair, I listened to everything just basically one time, so I didn't really get to really soak it up because there was a decent amount of new stuff this last weekend. Surprisingly, I thought there'd be way less. So I was pretty impressed with that. This is like cool. I don't know how much I'd listen to it. But I definitely come back to the Freddie and Alchemist shit a couple times for sure.
Right.
Definitely some hard stuff. Another one, my favorite, my album of the week, if we could go so far as to do that, is Ro James. In the last 2 weeks, he put out singles, and we mentioned him. So the album is out. Oh, fuck, I should have probably checked the name of the damn album. Let me check the name while I'm here. But I've listened to that shit. multiple. Ah, man, there's too many things on the screen. I can't get to it. Okay, well,
Goodness me.
tough shit. Either way, Rogane's shit. It is fire. It is out of control. So good. One of the best R&B / kind of neo soul albums I've heard in a minute. So I've already listened to that 2 or 3 times. Actually, I'm a very, very big fan of that. Definitely check that one. What else was fire? Lucky Day and Babyface did a joint. So last week it was Floyd and Teddy Riley. Now it's Lucky Day and Babyface. Mans are out here. Oh, there we go. Rochelle says it's called Manted. Is it called? Here we go. Mantic. There you go, like a romantic, but Mantic. Oh yeah, because he's Rogan. It's romantic. That's a good name.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Rochelle coming through, man. I have to fucking hire you as like an assistant. I'm loving your work. But yeah, that was dope. So the Lucky Day and Babyface, right? Fuck, Brad's over. Brad, you're fired.
Fucking hell.
I said assistant, not co-host. I still love you, don't Lucky Day joint was smooth. I enjoyed that. Lucky Day is very, very cool. I know you got to see him live not so long ago.
Yeah.
Yup.
So
that shit was slappy. Maverick Sabre from the UK. You familiar with him?
No idea. I unfortunately didn't hear any of this new stuff.
No, but do you know who he is?
No, I don't.
She said, okay, good, Michelle. All right, hi. So yeah, he had a new single. I think it might be from a new album. And it was dope. It was cool. He's like this is the Maverick Sabre one, but then the next one. Right. So that was Maverick Sabre's dope. He's like neo soul R&B type shit. Super cool. This was like on brand for everything else I've ever heard from him. Jules and Sango did like a 2-track EP. It's kind of like Brazilian. Like Sango's a producer who signed to Selection. I'm not sure who Jules is, but it was kind of like a little Brazilian kind of funk. I think Jules might be a Brazilian producer, if I'm not mistaken. So like some Brazilian little like funk in there.
I think I've seen Maverick on you know that show Colors?
Yes.
I've seen Maverick on that before with another guy named George the Poet.
Okay.
That's I just realized right now.
That makes sense. He's a white.
Sabre,
he's a white dude, but he's great.
Yep. I just like fully clicked.
Yeah. Cool. His album, there was one. I'm not sure if it was his last album or the one before, but I listened to that bunch. Like really, really good album. It's fucking great.
Okay, I think Maverick did a song with Georgia Smith.
Yes, he did.
A while ago.
Yes, he's definitely been helping her.
A year or so.
Yes, sir. That's correct. That's the one.
Cool. Okay, so I'll come back. Sorry, mate.
No, it's good. You're on board. You know the vibes.
I just
the fucking vibes.
I mean,
you know the vibes, fam.
I mostly do.
You know. Robin Thicke had a new single. It's cool.
Jeez, he's still doing stuff, mate?
Yeah, I guess he's bored and rich and like.
He's just doing his thing. Must
like
be nice.
It's fine. I don't know. I'm kind of over him now. I feel like his last few projects were meh. He was dope back in the day. The first couple albums were sick, and then it was like.
Especially when he's messing with Wayne, everything was a little extra special. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a good era. That was that was second album era, I think. That shit was popping. But now he's really checking for Robin Thicke. No shade, but like.
I mean,
I don't know. Not really moving me in the boxes there. And another interesting one, The Lox came back with all 3 of them on the single. It's the first Lox single in forever.
There's been a bunch of activity from those blokes. I mean, mainly Styles, but there's in general they've been coming back in a nice way.
Yeah, so it was pretty impressive. That was good. It was hard. It was exactly what you think from a Lox singles. It was cool. Fresh production, bars were tight. I liked it. Don't know how much I'd listen to it, but if they are preparing for an album, I am very curious. I'd like to see what they would do in 2020. Don't know how many people would give a fuck, but I'm curious. And the last one, I literally just listened to it right before we went on, is Chaos from Toronto. Did an EP called Bushido. It is the weirdest fucking thing, man. I was like offended because he had. Is it like
Thundercat weird?
No, the production is dope because Kate Trinata did all the songs. So there's 4 songs, right. And the 5th one's a Kate Trinata remix of another song. The first song, this is how it hit me. The first song is called Freestyle. So listen, I was like, the way he rap, like he's not the most lyrical dude or whatever of all time. He's more of a singer than a rapper. So I wasn't judging. I was like, this is like really not great. And then I looked at the title. It's called Freestyle. I was like, oh, like he's freestyling. I'm like, okay, well then for a freestyle, this is not so bad. And then he freestyled every song. Every fucking song was a freestyle. He didn't write anything. And like, Right, so there's 4 full songs produced by Kate Trinata, who like is one of the biggest producers in the world. And
at the moment,
you're going at the moment, and he has been for a minute. Shout out to he goes to my barber, and he's that's how I knew Matt Davis through all those dudes. So Kate was in a crew called Alez with my friend Dr. Mad, who I did an album with in 2013. Marty's the man. Yeah, that shit is still slaps. But so that's how I know those dudes. So Kate was still just out here in Montreal. But like, I just thought like, you know, what sort of privilege is that you're fucking taking Kate Trinata beats and just freestyling? I know you're like a Toronto legend and all.
Kind of like blasphemy. It's like, bro, at least treat it. I mean, as much as I dislike Goldlink after his Mac Miller things, he rides Kate Trinata beats very, very well.
Pause. Yeah, he's Goldlink is the cockiest dude of all time, but he's dope. I do like his stuff. Dick. Yeah, he's just like Kanye level cocky for someone who hasn't really done that
without the anything to back it up.
No, I just thought that was so great. He had that interview on Soul Election when a couple years ago. Though that's how I heard him. I was like, what the fuck does this guy think he is? Mm-hmm. But like his voice, it is cool, but it's not like don't like talk like
there's not many MCs that like rap very like amazingly well over Kate Trinata beats. It's not like his beats are fucking mad.
They're like funky and like they're not built for rapping as much.
Super fast and it's a different. It's not like a usual rap style. It's more like a party style, dancehall-ish style.
Total different vibe. So
yeah. Keitra the man.
Keitra is the man. Shouts to you, bro. But yeah, that's basically all the new stuff that I checked out this week. It's kind of always hard to keep up and stuff, but pretty solid week. So if I could recommend anything, definitely Ro James, the Mantic album, and the Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist Alfredo album as well. Those two are both fire. So check for that. Now, what have we been talking about every week that always goes down that kind of didn't really happen heavily this weekend?
Oh, Versus.
Did you see the only Versus battle that was very softly promoted?
The one... no, wait, which one?
112 Jagged Edge was last Monday. There was one yesterday.
Oh, the gospel joint?
The gospel one.
Yeah, no, I was gallivanting on my bicycle in the forest, mate.
Fair enough. So I watched one song, really. That was it. It was Kirk Franklin and Fred Hammond. I've never heard of Fred Hammond, of course. They were playing a song and they were in the same room, so it was on the Versus Instagram. Sound was good. It was just because, like, look, I don't want to say atheist, but I don't really fucks with religion, so I didn't really want to be exposed to people talking about Jesus. It doesn't really sit with me.
The only reason I would have, if I was home, I would have listened to that for things to sample, because I love the gang choir vocals that I could sample.
That is cool.
I also know Fred Hammond because of sample shit and digging, so I know both of those guys.
Familiar with him. The only cool thing, I happened to tune in, they played one song, and then they got Ahmaud Arbery's mother on the phone from Atlanta, so they spoke with her. Very brief, but just cool to say. They were just basically say, hey man, we love you, we're thinking of you, the community's here for you, nice. You know, what can we do to help, blah, blah, and stuff like that. So I thought that was dope. That was on brand for nice. Gospel Versus. I did like that they have been...
How long did it go for?
I once again, I watched one thing. I would probably say hour to 2 hours. I don't think it was like the epic kind of ones. And it was like a Sunday afternoon. And, you know, it was pretty chill. So it was like a low-key type of thing. But I just like that they've moved to multiple genres. So now they've done neo-soul, they've done hip-hop, they've done just producers, they've done songwriters, they've done dancehall, they've done now gospel. It's cool. It's becoming quite an eclectic brand. Something else that Swiss was saying, I think, I don't know, did we talk about it last time? He said they turned down millions for like, what do you call it? Fucking
sponsorship?
Sponsors and different companies wanted to work with them and stuff. And they're like, no, it's for the culture.
Like
he didn't say, but he said that they turned down opportunities and money, so they've left millions on the table because this is for the culture. So it's pretty cool that they've been able to build something. Look, of all people, like Swiss and Tim are good forever, and their children's children are good. So, you know, they don't really have to worry too much about any of that stuff with all of the, you know, imagine Swiss and fucking Alicia Keys' collective publishing coming through. Like, they good. They completely good.
Must be quite nice.
Must be quite nice. Hey man, you work for it. So shouts to them. But that was kind of cool. I haven't heard talk of any other, let's just say solidified, but just like locked in battles for this week.
Yeah, sometimes they do it like Wednesday.
They talk about
sometimes they announce it mad late.
So there's nothing else that last I checked.
Fingers crossed.
I would imagine now, like, if everyone's doing the blackout, no one's really posting, they might not do anything. Like, I can see why a gospel thing was like a healing experience for people. Giving positive music. It's not about them so much as it's about like the community and stuff. So that was like the sentiment I liked because of the timing. Yeah. I don't know if they pulled it together because of the timing, and they were like, or they've been talking about it anyway. They're like, guys, can we do this for right now to give people a little respite from the negativity and all the craziness.
Yeah, a little bit of spirit can't hurt, mate.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, go on.
Not just going to say the vibes that some gospel choirs can bring. I usually get goosebumps from that shit. So that
is pretty sick.
People definitely would have felt that sort of love. So yeah.
Agreed. Sorry, I did have another thing. So that note about the millions of dollars, I had that here. But one thing that they said I thought was interesting. They said that Roland, the company that makes the keyboards, the TR-808, which is the 808 drums everyone knows about, they made a special piece of tech just for Versus for these things, and every pairing that does it are sent that Roland piece of tech. And now they said because of how bad Jagged Edge's sound was, if you're going to do the Versus thing and you're not going to use the tech, you don't use it, it's cancelled. So it's just like it's not a good experience when like everyone's trying to jam. It's already tough enough when you're listening through phone speakers. So now like people are going to want to hear it as good as possible. 112 sounded epic, but they used their tech, and Jagged Edge didn't, and it sounded terrible. So they couldn't really enjoy the experience. So they're trying to make, if they're going to do it, and a company built something for them, like that's pretty wild. I thought that was cool.
It's gangster. I love it.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. Now, I have something else here that I was talking to Tiff about this the other day, and I wanted to bring this up just to see what y'all thought. So, my man's Phonte tweeted this. So, did you hear about the Joe Rogan Spotify deal? I'm assuming you did.
I did.
So, for those who don't know, the number on record, basically, Rogan has always been pissed at YouTube for censorship issues. Because you gotta be very careful. Can't play this, or YouTube take it down, or can't fucking blah blah blah. I can't say this because blah blah blah. So Spotify hit him up, and they basically gave him. They said 100 mil. I watched another podcast with his friends, a fighter and a kid, and they were saying that it was closer to 200 mil.
Jesus.
To exclusively have his podcast on Spotify. So from September 1st, the audio will be, I think. Everything will be moving to Spotify, and then 100% Spotify at the end of the year. And they're still going to keep the clips on YouTube, but they're going to put the full video only on Spotify through the video. I guess they're building some sort of video tech, because I don't know if they have that right now.
Right. And
I think the audio is going to be Spotify only as of January 1st. So this is what Phonte had to say. Tiff disagreed with this, but I think it's a good conversation. He says, this Joe Rogan Spotify deal makes me think it won't be long before artists start charging to be on podcasts.
I've seen that.
Did you see the tweet? Okay, this is for everyone else.
Yeah.
So basically, he retweeted somebody saying that they're comparing Spotify to MTV because they've given, essentially Spotify gave the big money to podcasters versus musicians, and the musicians built the platform. So, Phonte says, when artists realize that all their content is being leveraged against them, they're going to start asking to be paid honorariums for guesting on these podcasts, just like public speakers. It meant nothing to work the podcast circuit as free promotion when you were shucking for an upcoming tour or a new album, but now in the age of the Rona, there's no more upselling. Spotify makes its name and builds its brand off music, which allows them to buy and license content from other creators. Meanwhile, the musicians who built the platform get paid micro pennies. Then they pay these podcasters millions of dollars in hopes that musicians will go back on their platform and give them new content to promote the same albums that they ain't paying a shit for. You gotta love it. Quarantine has forced many artists to self-tape and become one-man production entities for these podcasts and IG lives. If you're already assuming the labor, why not own the content, or at the very least be compensated for it? It's something to consider. So, react. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Dude,
it's deep, I know. It's a lot to throw on you without preparation, so apologies.
Yeah, no, that's big, that's deep. We love Phonte dearly, and he's making a solid point. And artists don't really get their worth, so he's putting his foot down in a big fucking way.
Yeah. So he's hypothesizing, by the way. He's not saying this is happening. He's like, I can see this happening because artists...
the projection, yeah.
So Tiff's argument, which because I wasn't sure how to feel about it either, and I read that to her, and then she was like, "Well, he's comparing like apples and oranges because podcasters have an audience, right? Like they built in audience that they can kind of. Oh, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to explain it well. Tiff, if she's still listening, can you comment to tell me what was your point about the Joe Rogan thing?
Delayed when I listened.
Oh, you're listening to the delay thing. Sorry,
my opinion on
the Joe Rogan. I was trying to explain your perspective, and I forgot
messaging. Yeah, it's a bit delayed, but basically, my thought was you can't compare these two things because a podcast versus a musical artist are completely different things.
Right, that's what I just said.
Platforms.
Apples and oranges.
So when you look at why, so when it comes to a podcast, right?
Yep.
Podcasts are not paid based on streams.
Okay.
They are paid based on the sponsorships that they get and the things they require. They're two completely different business models. One relies on listeners in order to use that to get sponsorships, where the other one relies on you having an innate platform that you've built as an artist, and you will get paid for all the things that you do, the tours, the streams itself. Remember, you don't get money for streaming your podcast, right?
Right.
It's just completely two different business models. You can't compare an artist. Spotify is paying you for every single stream on Spotify.
Even if it is micropennies.
Even if it's micropennies, they're still paying you. And Spotify isn't paying every podcaster. They're paying Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan gets 100 million downloads per episode and is going to give them the money back that they've invested in him in ad revenue. An artist is not giving Spotify that much money.
Right.
Spotify, in the end, at a certain point, won't even need artists anymore. The way that podcasts are outliving or performing music.
Artists, right.
So it's just two completely things. And why would a podcaster pay to have an artist on there? Like if Joe Rogan's already getting 100 million downloads, why does he need Phonte to come on? Why would you pay Phonte to come on?
Right.
You actually can make more talking about Phonte and then probably talking shit about Phonte and making things more interesting than you would than just having Phonte on here. He's already available. He's on social.
Right.
It's not equal value at all.
Right.
So that relationship with Spotify is not the problem. Artists should create something that encourages fans to download directly from them, and then make their money that way.
Okay.
So it's not this. You can't compare the two, especially podcasts are completely reliant on sponsors. So just build up your sponsorship and do the exact same thing that podcasts are doing.
Right.
And again, TMF, this podcast is not going to be paid for.
Right.
On Spotify, right?
That's true.
You have to secure the partnership to get that yourself.
Yes.
Artists, you put up the songs right now are making money right now.
Correct.
So it's a completely different business model.
I like that. Could you hear that okay? Brett?
That was perfect. Thanks, Tiff.
Thanks, Brett. There's absolutely no way I could have explained that in any way, and I held the microphone out, so hopefully that picked up for the audio listeners. So yes, that was basically it. So apples and oranges. Thanks, mate. Great. Appreciate you. Thank you, babe. So yeah, that's basically the deal. Phonte happened to call or Joe Budden called him on his podcast, and he basically Budden disagreed as well. And I think he might have disagreed for similar reasons to Tiff. It's pretty obvious that it is kind of different, and like you said, if say me and you, basically we're building this platform, we don't, like you said, if someone streams this anyway, we don't get paid shit. This just costs us money to put together. We have to pay for hosting. You got to mix and master it. Luckily, we already had equipment, but this just costs us money. But we're trying to build a platform. We're trying to build something that we can put our views out about the culture and about what's happening in the world. And eventually, we're going to start having guests. Maybe this month we might have one or two. Maybe next. We're not going to do it a lot, but here and there we will. But like you said, also we do get paid for our streams. So if someone goes right now and streams a song from either of us, we get money for that. Like you said, micro pennies, but we get money. So I can see. I know it's a funny way to say it, right? So I can see artists being vexed that, like, hey, how is Rogan getting 100 million, whereas, but he's not getting paid for the stream. It's like he's not an employee, he's like a contractor. They're just like, all right, you give us this shit. He doesn't have to worry about doing the ads anymore because he would have somebody getting those ads for him. Funnily enough, Rogan used to use the same host that we do because they advertise that he's in there. So I don't know how he gets his ads, whether he's got a team or he's got an agent or something that just gives it to him. But now Spotify just have their own ads already built in, and then they can build it all from there. And they know that they're going to he gets like 100 million downloads a month or whatever it is. So he's going to bring all of that audience across to Spotify. Some of them will be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not paying for Spotify, even though you can listen for free. And some will be like, oh, you know what? It's $10 a month and you get 3 months free. Like, let's do it. So it's an interesting. I thought that was an interesting something to quickly bring up, being that this is a hip hop podcast run by artists in order to build a larger platform for ourselves that we can talk about, and that's why I want this podcast to not focus on interviews as much as it is about you and I and what we think about the world and how we want to present that. And then when we do have guests on, it'll be very select into certain people that we want to highlight. You know, I was saying to you the other day, a few people that I want on because they offer some good perspective to the world from, you know, in the business that we know that are doing some really cool shit, you know. So like, you know, as opposed to like up and coming artists, I don't really want to do that. It's not that kind of thing. I want to really like provide value and give something to people where they can come out of it and be like, oh fuck, all right, cool, like learn a little something or whatever, get thinking. You know,
get the noggin tinking.
Fuck, I'm saying.
Mate.
So that was all I had on the list for today. We've hit the hour and 5 minutes, which is not bad. It's about what we're aiming for.
Not bad. Okay.
Anything else?
Keep it on time.
Anything else that you were looking to yap about? To wrap up?
Nothing really had to add. Had all my points taken care of as far as my notes. I got my notes this week all in order.
Nice.
We seem to be
getting better each week.
Everything.
Each week.
We're trying.
We're fucking up less.
The best we can.
Do I realize I did fuck up? I didn't put the title and everything on the podcast on YouTube.
Oh.
That's okay. I do it after, but it doesn't pop up with that. You know what? There's always one step. Sure.
It's always a slip, mate. It's okay. I'm just going to make sure I listen to the tunes that you want to talk about next week before we got to put more tunes in the week. That's my only issue, mate.
Do you know what? It's not even during the week. It's between Friday and Monday. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's a lot. I have a busy schedule.
Yeah, so it's almost like whenever you sort of have a moment and you're just chilling, instead, like we do something else, I would be putting on the music or whatever. So
yeah, my only issue is like I'm usually mixing. Usually like my ears are occupied. That's the only issue. That's the only issue I have.
That's fair.
My job is my ears, so I can't listen to music and mix it. It just doesn't work, mate.
So what you could do, because
unless I'm mixing the new stuff.
Unless you're mixing the new stuff, which would, that's the aim. We'll get there eventually.
Sick.
That'd be hell sick.
Game changer.
But the least, because I put all of those in on Thursday night, I just went through my Spotify release radar, and I put in all the new ones that looked interesting to me. So then it's almost like you can pick and choose, and just like, all right, I'm gonna check that. You don't have to listen to it once, I reckon. Anyway, like just to get the point, we're not doing full album reviews here, but just like, I just want to talk about stuff that we enjoyed. Yeah, that's one way. Hey, look, man, this is only episode 4. We're so early into it. It's been a month. That's actually crazy. It's been a month. Hey, hey, applause. Hey, woo!
Hey.
So, all right. Well, that was episode 4 of Bad Habits. So I hope that was informative for at least the first part. Just to put that out there. I think that was really important. Let's get the screenshot for the thumbnail because it's something I don't want to fuck up on.
Sweet.
All right, so I got that. Are you ready? I'm going to put this on there like that. You ready? 1, 2.
Yep.
Boom. Look at that, mate. Gorgeous. Glorious. Nosh, where can everybody find you online, and just remind them where they can reach you for the opportunity for if they're doing a song about everything that's happening right now for the mixing opportunity?
Yeah, hit me on at Notion Baby on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and also on Facebook and Instagram for Illnote Studios, so at Illnote Studios. Either or is going to lead you to the same person. So the invitation is open for production, mixing, and mastering at either stage. Either one of those I will do on the house. With any song that is related to it, and let's fucking go. And
that's open to anywhere in the world too, since the internet is a thing pretty much everywhere.
Correct. Anywhere. Yep.
Open
arms. Let's go.
I love it. Good on you for doing that, bro. I think that's a really good look right now. I think that's what people need is, maybe someone needs a little bit of a leg up to getting this shit out, and maybe it'll help help them build a relationship with someone in the industry already who's working with people, and give them in. So that's very, very cool. Much respect. Y'all can check me at CEEFOR on Twitter and Instagram. I don't know why I had a blank for a sec. CEETMF on Facebook and the website ctmf.com. You can check out at The Movement Fam everywhere. We are live every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. on YouTube, and then the podcast audio goes live on the Tuesday. We are on new ones now. I got us on Deezer, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I think just the YouTube playlist now. That's decent, you know.
Sick.
I don't know why.
Nice
I feel like
there you go.
I feel like that's all the major players aside from Mixcloud, but like that's manual, and it kind of couldn't be fucked. I feel like there's no point. Mixcloud isn't really big for podcasts, so that is it. So like I said, for the people who are watching the live, stick around for just after we've wrapped this. We're gonna play a music video. It's actually our song called Yeah, produced by Cool FD out of Paris, France. This was a t-shirt we made for it. It's basically speaking on the same things that were happening around the time Sandra Bland was murdered by the police. I think it was 2015 or 16, if I'm not mistaken. Something that was a intense video to film, and huge shouts to King Richard, who's done all the videos that I'm going to play. They're all done by Rich, and this one features our DJ Digital Junkie. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. He was actually hitting me and you in the face and flicking lit cigarettes at us in this video.
Flicked a ciggy at me. Yeah, that's great.
It's it's a little violent. We weren't allowed to advertise this. I got all our ads declined on disapproved on YouTube, trying to boost it a bit, because it gets to be wild. We wilding out here. So I'm going to play the outro right now, and then we're going to move into that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Stay home. If you're out there protesting, please cover up your hair, any distinguishing features, so that you can't be in trouble later for anything. Stay aware. Watch out for these crazy motherfuckers who are starting shit. Record everything. Watch out for your friends. And if you're white, please support your people of color, your black friends. If they're in any trouble, go in there and intervene if you can, and see if you can diffuse the situation. Particularly with authorities. And also this week, if you want to also participate in the muting on social media, sorry, not that, it's like amplifying black voices, melanated voices. Join us, and let's support, and let's get some fucking equality in this bitch,
Y'all. Let's do it.
Boom. Hey.
Peace.
Yeah. Boom, this way. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, free Palestine, yelling Black Lives Matter from the picket line. And it's like y'all don't remember from white privilege to censorship. And how every election fixed when they legalize everybody is high as Yeah, we tired of this, so we fighting, kid. Listen, yeah, homie, the future looking a little grim. We on some that even Orwell could've never seen. Even Huxley and Rand been off the market seems. But if you're quiet and you focus, you can hear the screams. Yeah, imagine the water poison, you sick again. Take a little drive to Flint, Michigan. Yeah, and Gaza still suffering from apartheid. The US backed Israeli army stifling their war cry. Man, and yeah, they f***ing murdered Sandra Bland, Mike Tamia, Eric, Tony, Walter, Freddie, damn. Yeah, they're killing on schedule like they had a plan. F***ing with his land of false flags at the Bataclan. Yeah, and slavery was abolished, so they put us all in chains, and through the pain we never saw the problem. And yeah, the choice is really ours, and the time is now. We built it up, so we sure as hell finna tear it down. Let's go, the people marching for our future. Yeah. Nobody move or they will really shoot you. Yes sir, but the planet don't belong to them. Yeah. So all our efforts, they are not in vain. We are one, we are us, we are everything. So let it ring, they will never get us. Yeah. Even in the summertime, we never sweat it. Nope. Yeah. Hell yeah, believe I'm marching with my fist up. Black, white, purple, brown, it's nothing but skin. Humans need to fix up, to band together, bond as brothers, and love each other to keep from going under. Look, they point blank shooting in the States, it seems. Get Bernie Sanders in to change the scheme. They try kill us off one by one and flip the script on us, paint us with a gun. No son, no sir, can't tolerate this right here. And they're medicated so our vision is a blur. Word, yeah, they treat us like rats in a cage and push depression in subtle ways, make us mental slaves. Caught by the puppet, yo, we caught her getting trumped. Cause in short, dog, you get don't conform, they're turning third world countries to open morgues, fighting for a better day like the ones before. So let's go, the people marching for our future. Yeah. Nobody move or they will really shoot you. Yes sir, but the planet don't belong to them. Yeah. So all our efforts, they are not in vain. We are one, we are us, we are everything. So let it ring, they will never get us. Even in the summertime, we never sweat it.